There you go, Linda. Oh, thanks very much, just right.
John, do you remember Tony Hewitt?
Who doesn't after that scandal which killed poor old Joe Dixon and all trying?
Very strange set of affairs. Wasn't he going to marry her in order to father her child?
Something like that. She knew he was gay and he turned on his heels and went off with that male nurse.
Which he still did despite all the devastation.
Ron and Alison Barrett remember that day very well, when Joe drove like a mad thing and ploughed into their cattle and turned her car over in their field. The pair of them nearly got it in the process.
So tragic. The reason I ask about him is that he could be my key witness when it comes to Daddy's death that fateful day in 1996.
You're still determined to carry on with this, then?
Oh, but of course.
I thought that was all sewn up at the time.
Well, most people did, John. But I had this strange dream in which Joey came to me and asked me to clear his name. So I feel I need to.
Right, well, I've no idea how you might get in touch with Mr. Hewitt, but I very much doubt he'd show his face around here again, Larry, even after all this time. I mean, Joe's dad, Stan Dixon's been dead and gone this past 5 or 6 years, and Edna, her mum, went off to live with Joe's brother Barry again back up north.
I wonder if Tony's on Facebook. After all, he ran that telecottage at ACREBURY Green Farm, didn't he?
Rachel Harris, Noel's wife at the vicarage, might be able to put you in touch with him. She used to work for him when he was there.
Oh. Hey, John, that's right, thank you. I'll pop over now and see if she's in.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to make me peace with you, Mum. I hates bad feeling.
There's no need, dear. I should know my eldest son well enough after 58 years.
Oh, please, don't remind me that I'm approaching the big 6-0.
Not for a couple of years yet. And believe you me, there is life after.
Yeah, I'm sure. And there's still plenty of life and energy left in me. So I meant what I said. Any jobs you and Dad wants doing round here, I can help, and I won't charge you for it.
Well, for one thing, Brian, you and Alison are up to your eyes in it up at Priory Farm, and your dad and I aren't exactly short of money. We can at least pay someone that might need a bit of pin money.
Such as this Simon?
Yes. And before you says anything else, I've done a bit of delving into it.
Oh?
I phoned the principal of the horticultural college where Simon's at. I was perfectly honest with him and told him why I was ringing. He told me what he could, as obviously he's restricted about what he can and cannot say about his students.
Oh, of course.
But he's reassured me. He's a good student and a very nice lad.
All right. Fair enough, but still take care.
Oh, well, anyway, you can meet him yourself. He's just coming through the gate, look.
Oh, perhaps I'd better get off.
You stay right where you are, Brian Barrett.
Hello, Mrs. Barrett. How are you?
Very well, thanks, Simon. I'd like you to meet my eldest son, Brian. I've told him all about you.
How do you do, Simon? Oh, pleased to meet you. Anyway, if you'll excuse me, I got work to do. I'll pop over later, Mother, all right?
Oh, yes, all right, dear. Take care. Love to Alison.
Yeah.
Oh, don't mind him, Simon. Brian tends to be a bit abrupt, but his heart's in the right place. Oh, Rachel, thanks ever so much, and I do perfectly understand. It's just that after all that stuff when Joe Dixon died, Tony wanted to cut himself off from ACREBURY. I don't think people realise just how much it affected him. I mean, he tried to be as tactful as he could with Joe when he decided he couldn't take on she and her baby and play the dutiful father. But Joe couldn't cope with all that and drove like a maniac to her death. Yes. Tony couldn't possibly have been responsible for her doing that. It's just that a lot of people around here, certainly at the time, were gunning for him. There seems to have been an awful lot of gunning going on around this village one way and another over the years. Yes, I see what you mean. Well, I won't hold you up any longer. Oh, how's Noel, by the way? Fine, thanks. He goes to ACREBURY House on a Thursday and speaks to the parishioners there. Oh, my stepfather's in there, Edmund Maplethorpe. Oh, yes, the man with Alzheimer's. Yes, that's right. Noel does visit him, but it's like Noel's a stranger to him every time that he does. Yeah, I know. And do you know the absolute irony, Rachel? Edmund is a key witness in my investigations, as it was his gun that was allegedly used to shoot Daddy at that hunt. Really? But he probably doesn't remember a blessed thing about it. Bingo! Tony Hewitt. So he is on Facebook. And it still looks like him. Right, I will put in a friend request and see if he responds. No surprises for guessing what you're doing, Linda. I think I may have made a bit of a breakthrough, darling.
I'm not sure I want to know.
Tony Hewitt is on Facebook, and I have put in a friend request.
And I'll bet he'll block you.
You see, you do know something about how it works. I just hope you're wrong and that he does accept my request.
Don't hold your breath.
You just off out?
I am. I'm going to look at a property with your mother. A cottage has come up in Foxbury, which looks very
I
nice.
feel guilty now. She probably wanted me to go with her.
Well, hold your guilt. As a matter of fact, she asked me specifically to go with her.
Oh, well now I feel affronted.
Anyhow, after we've done that, I'm off to my old club in Market Langford for a drink with an old chum.
Right. Well, have a lovely time. Oh, I'll see you later.
Natalie, can you take these clean glasses through to the lounge bar, please? And there are some customers in there want serving too. Blimey, I'm beginning to think that Fred Partridge might be right about her. She does come across a bit gormless at times. And talk of the devil, well, almost.
Afternoon, John.
Hello, Mrs. Partridge. To what do I owe the pleasure? Blimey, you been raiding the old piggy bank or something?
That's all I got, John. Well, our oven and me between us.
What's this for then?
What, that girt lump Fred owes you?
But I don't expect you to go paying for his drinks and stuff. That's his debt.
Well, if it was left to him. I've done nothing but go round paying different people for stuff all day today. The Barretts for some of our outstanding rent, and the Thompsons at the village stores. We thought there were no such thing as tick these days. But Freddie Partridge always manages to chalk some up.
Oh, well, I blame myself, Lily. Look, why ever did you marry him?
Oh, don't ask me, John. Seemed a good idea at the time. But he'll never be the man his cousin Clem was. My first husband, that was. And he was head and shoulders above this article. And never in debt.
Well, I'm not going to take a penny of this from you. Fred Partridge's debts are his, not yours. Do you hear?
Then there's them pheasants.
Eh?
I'm darn sure he'd been poaching again.
Fargo, my dear old chap. Good to see you. Don't come in nearly enough. Drink, old boy?
Oh, let me get these, Lord Langford. I must say you're looking well.
Get the old touch of gout now and again. Bit of arthritis in my knees, but not bad for an Eldon.
Bearing all of that in mind, do you get up into the saddle much these days?
Do I dashed. Gotta be helped up out the blasted chair most of the time, let alone onto me chestnut hunter.
Oh dear.
No fun either nowadays with this so-called ruddy drag hunting. The fun of the kill's dead itself.
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, horse riding for me was purely competitive. Entry and the like. Never done one for equine sports as such. What's your point?
Well, in honour of your nationality, my dear friend, a drop of the old Irish, if you please. A neat mind. Hate a good whisky when it's diluted.
Barman, an Irish whiskey and a Guinness for me, please.
The old stout, eh? My word for a little chap, you like a big downpour.
Oh, the old club doesn't change much, does it?
Oh, no.
I've been here for a while, but it's comforting to see that some things don't change.
Love the old place, you know. A bit of a haven for me. Used to come here at the end of each hunt meeting, you know. As hunt chairman, I used to like to chill out, especially after all the wretched run-ins I used to have with old Ronnie Harcourt.
Oh, thanks. Take it out of that and put the change in the charity box, will you?
Let's grab me favourite table for
right,
while it's getting begging.
Now, your lordship, on the subject of Major Harcourt.
Of course you own and live in his old place, don't you? The manor house at ACREBURY.
That's right,
Yeah.
with his daughter Linda, who happens to be my partner.
Ronnie Harcourt's little girl, your other half, eh? Good grief. Age difference, isn't there?
Well,
There's probably a height difference too. She must tower over you.
yes she does, but we don't worry about that or the age gap.
Weren't you married?
I was, but Ursula and I divorced about 8 years ago.
I thought so.
Lord Langford, the Boxing Day Hunt, 1996.
Oh, heavens. I thought all that business was gone and forgotten, you know. What about that day in particular?
You were leader of the Foxvale Hunt at the time. What can you remember of it?
Mostly that it was Ronnie Harcourt's last meet. We were to hold a big reception for him after at Ferringham Hall. But he met his maker before the actual meet had got underway. Police involved and protesters all over ACREBURY causing their dashed work.
You see, Linda isn't satisfied that her brother Joey was responsible for shooting the Major.
Ah, I see.
The question remains, did the heart attack he was suffering at the time get him first, or was it the
Do you
gun?
know, boy, I couldn't stand the man. Ronnie Harcourt was the most arrogant, obnoxious and self-centered of people I've ever had the misfortune to have to deal with.
I've heard he could be difficult, but I never ever met him.
I don't know what actually caused his death that day, but I do know one thing. There were an awful lot of people, both inside and out of the Foxvale hunt, that would gladly have pulled that trigger on him. I'll tell you that for nothing. Cheers.